Hello, my name is Jacob Fienders. It may sound silly, but I have an unusual hobby. Since my childhood I've been interested in what is beyond death, from watching Ghost when I was only 4, to reading books about paranormal stuff and the afterlife. When I was 19, already living on my own as I wanted my own space and my parents supported me in being independent, I finally began to involve myself even more about studying about the other world, as some say. I always studied on my own, as I didn't want my beliefs, researches and discoveries to be influenced by skeptics. Thing is, sometime after I moved, something happened in my town, something that sadly became common in our country in the last decades, a school shooting. As I saw on the news, 2 teens from a high school on the other side of the town went armed to their school and began gunning down anyone in their way. They killed 6 students and 2 teachers before turning their guns on themselves before the police could reach them. This event, even if it had nothing to do with me or the people close to me, left an impression on me. Years later, I now found myself as a part-time ghost hunter going with my friend, Ryan, who I met in an online group for paranormal enthusiasts, after ghost activities and actually trying to make contact. Now you may think you already saw that kind of stuff in a YouTube channel and might be thinking this to be just a scam or fake stuff, but I assure you, we did it for real. From haunted houses to places with strange energies, we used everything to try communication, from Ouija-like boards to a microphone connected to a headphone I made with all the knowledge I gathered after years of study, but it was always hard to pick up something clear, something we could actually communicate with. And believe me, we tried a lot of places, we almost fell to scams a lot of times, but a place in particular always remained in my head, the school. I really wanted to go there, to know more. It may sound cold, but back then, for me it was just an opportunity to take my hobby close to home. So I talked with Ryan and, although he didn't agree at first, as it was too dark of a tragedy for us to play ghost talkers with, I eventually convinced him to do it. The best opportunity arose when the school closed for the summer. We got our stuff ready and waited for the right time. When it came, we went there. Little I knew how much this would change me. We got there by midnight. Although we were careful for security, it was rather easy to sneak in. Luckily for us, they left a bathroom window open, so we quickly got in. Of course I gathered info about the place and its dark history, so I knew well how to navigate through the empty school. Still, as soon as we entered, it all felt so eerie, so out of place. It is creepy to walk through any school when it is empty and dark, but there was something very off about this place. This feeling immediately got us to pick up the equipment and prepare it as we went straight to the first place I wanted to go, room 20, where 6 of the victims were killed. The place was turned into a memorial area, where 8 pillows stood on the floor, representing each victim, a kind of place to reflect the tragedy silently. We took a minute out of respect and got everything ready. Soon, we started, but, again, we got nothing. We tried calling, tried to use some spirit attracting tools, but to no avail. After some time, Ryan began to tell me we should leave. as there was nothing there for us and perhaps the spirits may had already carried on to somewhere better. I was disappointed and almost agreed with Ryan, but then, I remembered one place we should go, the storage room, right across the cafeteria. It was there where the two perpetrators ended their lives before they could be caught. I knew it could be a good one. Ryan was against, of course, but again I insisted until he gave up and agreed. The access door to the room was covered by a blank wooden board, probably to hide it from any student trying to sneak into that area, but it was no challenge Ryan and I hadn't faced before, so, after a little struggle, there it was, the door to the old storage room that, surprisingly, was unlocked. As soon as we entered, it was completely different from what we expected. Instead of finding a place with little air, and a strong musty smell, the place was cold, damp and with a heavy air. Obviously nothing was stored there anymore, which only gave the place an even creepier feeling. As before, we got the equipment ready. I put the headphones and turned on the microphone, calling out to any soul wandering there. What followed was something I could never expect. "Can you hear me?" I heard from the headphone. My spine froze. I could swear my dark skin went blank. Ryan noticed it. I could see the fear in his eyes and the hair on his arms standing up. It took a few seconds before I could actually reach my voice to speak. "Yes, we can. Who are you?" I asked. "I am Lucas, here with Alan." Of course I knew who they were, and as soon as I told it to Ryan he couldn't believe it. We both were having this mix of accomplishment and outright fear. I don't know what led me to ask the next question, as we had a questionnaire ready and this particular question was among the last ones, but I think destiny wanted to play this way. "Where are you right now?" I asked, and I could see Ryan confused as to why I skipped so many questions. When I noticed my mistake, I thought I had fucked it all up and that they would not answer anymore, but what I received in response, I can only transcribe in exact words. "I warn you, reader, what you are about to see here is something beyond frightening." After a minute of silence, the spirit replied, "Can you get us out? It looks like the school, but it's empty, cold, dark. We can't get out. It feels like we're freezing. Outside is all dark. There's a slow, low-pitched eerie music. It never stops. When we look at mirrors, we're pale. Our eyes are all black and blood leak from them like tears. We can see people, but they look like shadows. They can't see us. We feel every second, every moment. This is not the hell we wanted. This is worse. This is unbearable. We want to get out. We are sorry. We are sorry. Please, get us out of here." As he spoke, the room suddenly began to feel colder and colder, his voice louder and louder on the headphone. Without another thought, Ryan and I picked the equipment lightning fast and ran out of the room. I took the headphone out of my head and threw it into the equipment bag, but I swear I could still hear the spirit's voice. As we got out of the room we froze. The cafeteria and the rest of the school overall was just like how the spirit described. Everything was freezing cold. Outside the windows, where once we could see the lights of the lamp posts, was now only pitch black. As we stood there, like statues, our hearts racing madly, we felt something behind us, something colder than the already freezing ambience. We slowly turned to look, and what we saw is engraved on our minds forever. Near the old storage room, two figures stood, their skin as white as snow, their eyes were pitch black, a desperate expression filling their faces as they raised their arms to our direction, like if they were trying to reach for us. We didn't think twice as we began to run. We didn't even think about the rest of the place or any other details. We ran like if it meant our lives. After running through what seemed like infinite corridors, we finally reached the bathroom with the open window where we came through from. We hopped through it, and I couldn't be happier when I fell to the ground and felt the warm grass with the warm wind of a summer night. It was all back to normal, but Ryan and I wouldn't dare to spend another damn second near that place. It has been some days since that adventure. Ryan has since went back to his hometown and told me he would take a very long break from the whole paranormal thing. I too took a break. I now spend more time talking to my parents and trying to enjoy my life the best, and, above all, trying to be a better person, because, after all I saw and hear in that school, after having a first-hand witness of what awaits for people who dedicate their lives to evil, I know it's better that I will never be the same.